And we're recording. What's up, folks? Chris from Life and Real Estate. So, I told y'all we're going to do a little more targeted for the real estate folks who watch this channel, but it also can apply to other things. So, let's just kind of dive in and talk about it. What do we talk about? Well, it's about standing out for your business, or even if you're looking to do something not business related and you just want to stand out from the crowd for something, right? Maybe it's a service that you do for free. I don't know too many people who wouldn't take a free service, but you never know. You want to look better than the other people offering the free service, maybe. I don't know. We'll just kind of go from it. So, what's the importance of this? Well, if you don't have a point of difference and you're not offering something better to those folks that you're trying to reach, then why would they choose you? And that's something you really have to ask yourself. What is it that makes you unique, makes your service better than, say, everybody else is out there? For in a real estate space, what makes what you offer better than, say, another realtor down the road named Joe Schmo who can go and do the same thing for the same charge, and they don't know you, but they know this person, right? You got to make it so that you stand out as to the prime choice as to what they can pick. And what are some things you can do to make that happen for yourself? Well, let's talk about some things that I do in my business that a lot of other realtors don't do, and it's something maybe you can pick up on. As you all know, inventory is pretty low in the housing market right now. I mean, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel to get houses, and by the time they hit the MLS, they probably already have 15 plus offers on them, and then they're just gone. You don't even get a chance to be considered for an offer because they've already picked their perfect one in the first 1 or 2 days. It's a little redonkulous, not gonna lie. So something I've started doing for clients that I'm picking up is that I'm doing what I'm calling, or I guess what you could call, off-market property searching, so to speak. Well, how do you do that? Well, I can't tell you all the little secrets. You'll kind of have to figure that part out on your own, but I can tell you what I do is I reach out to places they're looking to go, in general vicinities, and I start sending out mailers to try and find out if there's somebody who is interested in selling their home, would they be willing to at, say, a fair market value. They don't have to deal with any showings aside from the one for the client to make sure it's, everything fits their bill, but they don't have to do any staging, they don't have to do any other bull stuff, and it's a win-win for them, and everybody's happy because it gives them time to, it gives the buyers time to do what they need to do to get ready to move, and it gives the seller the ability to not to deal with all the fun extra stuff that comes along with, typically selling your property. And I've had a couple successful things come through with that, so that's great. So that's something that I do, and I'm very targeted in how I do it. In a way that I know where to look at folks that may be selling their home. It just comes with time and knowing your market and knowing where you're focusing your area of expertise on. So that's something that I do. You could do it too. It's just you got to learn the market first. You got to know how to reach those people that want to sell their home but don't necessarily want to go down that evil side of things where they're on the MLS, everybody knows the address, and you got showings. Like, there's just people who don't want to deal with that. They don't want to have people come into their home, mess up their stuff if they haven't fully moved out yet. We also kind of call those like pre-market, because they're looking to sell, they're just not ready yet. So if you catch them early enough, you might just get the deal full swing and not have to deal with any extra stuff, and your buyer is the only buyer that's in there. And contrary to what a lot of folks will say is that, well, that sounds like a pocket listing. No, it is not a pocket listing. There's no listing contract involved. It's basically, when you find a seller at that point, you're looking at doing a FSBO agreement, for lack of better words, where they're agreeing to pay you a commission for finding them a buyer to sell their home, but there's no actual listing contract, which kind of eliminates that whole thing because there's nothing to report to the MLS and it's completely legal. And it's the way a lot of the good home deals out there are actually done. Believe it or not, what you see on the market and the MLS is only a fraction of the actual sales that happen in real estate. You can actually look up the statistic on realtor.com. You can look up the housing statistic. It's something that happens, and that's why there's a phrase that goes around that the best deals in real estate happen off market. It's true. And you just have to know how to really get into that niche. It's not for everybody. It does require quite a bit of cost up front to, target and mail out all that stuff, because mailing stuff ain't free. It does cost money. But, at the end of the year, it helps me as far as like an advertising budget, because that's what it's used for. I'm basically advertising that my buyers would like to buy a home in this place, and here are the details. Reach out to me here. Blah. Right, so that's something I do as a point of difference that a lot of other realtors in the area here don't do, which gives me that little upper edge when it comes to folks who are thinking about selling their current home, but they don't have anywhere to go yet. But, it comes to that problem where you run into with, there's sellers out there, but they have nowhere to go if they leave their current home. That's where this kind of helps out, and I get 2 transactions out of it that way, which is nice for me, but I'm also helping out that seller who wants to find somewhere else to go before they think about selling. And one of the most important things I can tell you in real estate, and at least especially real estate, is that all sellers are buyers first. If that's something you remember, is that it really can help you out. I mean, they may not be buying in somewhere you service, but you can always refer that out to somebody else in your organization, or another realtor that you happen to know and have a good relationship with, that might be in a different state or whatever. But all sellers are buyers first, and it's just something that a lot of folks miss the ball on, and it's unfortunate for them. So that's my little tidbit of information for the realtor people here. So that's my point of difference. That's what I do different. Aside from the other standard things that I can offer, cash offers, all that fun stuff. So that's what makes me different and unique. What can you do to make yourself different and unique? Well, it might be something unique to you that you could think you can do for your market. You could specialize in new construction, get relationships with a construction company that's looking for somebody who might be able to represent them in selling all these lands that they're developing around. I mean, they're everywhere, so it's not like they're going away. Some of them do have their own already, but it never hurts to get in contact with somebody in the, it's a little higher up in the food chain in those companies, and see if you can arrange like a special deal or a special package, so that when people come look at those homes, that they know that the marketing came from you, because you gave them this special code for a package or something. That could be something simple like an upgraded cabinet or something. You don't know. I mean, it's something you have to talk and arrange with them. I can't tell you how to do that. That's just, it is what it is. I do know some people who have done that, and it's worked out pretty good for them. So, I mean, that's another option you have in terms of the real estate thing. And as far as other businesses go, well, you really have to get down to dirty grits and think about, well, what makes you different from every other jeweler, every other flower place? What makes you different than any other little, shop where you can buy miscellaneous goods? What makes your business different, unique, that you can really focus on and advertise, that makes you better than everybody else? We all know that you can go to Target, Walmart, Amazon. You can do all them things and get just about anything you could ever want, but what makes people want to come to your store? And it's not always customer service and things of that nature. You kind of got to put that in the back of your mind. Yes, it's important, but folks are going to come there for an overall experience that's different than what they would get, say, going to those online platforms or into a bigger brick and mortar store. So that's something you really got to consider. Like, if you're a floral person, that's the other thing I can really seem to think of lately, is floral, for whatever reason. So I apologize for the analogy, but it works. What makes the way you arrange your flowers better than, say, the place down the road that's been doing it for 10 years, and gets higher volume than you are? You really got to think about what can you do differently that makes you to stand out. And that's the important thing, is the standout. You really have to get yourself in a position where, you know, people will recognize that you're of better quality, or, you know, you're better known, you do this better, and it helps that, again, that word of mouth thing that we talked about yesterday really start to flow out. And, you know, not yesterday, but a couple days ago, but that whole obscurity thing, you got to fight the obscurity, and you want to make yourself have an impact. Whether that be your winning personality, it could be a big factor for some folks, maybe not some others, you never know. Some folks are just looking for the ability to find what they need when they need it, and, you know, a lot of times they're just going to go online for that, and hey, that's fine. But if you can drag, you know, not drag, but if you can lure them to come in to visit your business, maybe you can give them an experience that they otherwise would not have had, and now you may have a customer for life. It's just a thought. So it's just kind of one of them things. You really do need to think about what is your point of difference and what you can do to make their lives better or make their experience amazing so that they want to keep coming back. And for me, like I said, that's how I target to get off-market properties, or you know, I help a seller find a home before they have to move out of their existing home, so it gives them time to do that process. So there's all kinds of things you can do in the real estate market. I mean, there's so many little niches in there that you can get into. It's almost, you know, ludicrous. I won't even lie. You know, I used to be targeting, you know, I was trying to get into the whole divorce space, but I don't like ripping on people's pain and suffering. So I more like to go after things like, you know, you're interested in selling, but you have a home, but you can't afford to sell until you find another place to go kind of situations. You know, another thing you could think about in terms of real estate is, well, you can start thinking about folks that, you know, doing some marketing towards folks that maybe just had another addition to their family. They might be looking to move up. We could call them like move up buyers. They're looking to move into a bigger home because the home they currently have might be too small. That's another thing you can do to kind of target and help that group out, and then you become known as the move up person, so to speak. So I mean, there's different ways you can target, you know, an ideal market, and it's just all about figuring it out for yourself what you're going to be able to do. Obviously, you don't want to get into something that you can't accomplish. You know, you don't want to go out and say, I am the best divorce home seller ever, and I can do it better than everybody else, and then not understand, you know, the things in like a divorce decree and stuff like that. That just makes you look dumb, and you don't want to look dumb. You want to look professional, that you know what you're talking about, you've done your homework, and such of the nature. So make sure it's something that you're really willing to spend time learning, and, you know, how to execute on it, so that you just become the guy, or the woman, I guess you could say, to go to. And, you know, you can see your business really pick up in that, because that whole word of mouth thing starts to go that, yeah, this guy helped me do this, and I didn't think it was possible. Well, there you go. You know, it's things like that that can really make or break your business, in the terms of, you know, getting where you want to go and having that point of difference. And it's, I mean, there's going to be points of difference that overlap. I mean, there's only so many things you can do before they start to bubble up, but the chances of you having the same target focus as another realtor in your area, probably pretty small. Or you may just do it better. I mean, that'd be a win for you, because then I mean, as long as they're not in the same company, you don't really care about this sort of thing anyway, because this is your business and you have to make money too. So it's one of them. Now you're starting to overtake the other people in the market, because you're just offering something better. So always have a better offer, and people pick up on that stuff, and they do pick up on it, and they do shower you with good compliments, and they spread the word. And I'll tell you too, if there's a bad experience, that'll spread like wildfire too, and most of the time the bad will always spread faster than the good. It's just human nature, and it happens, and you just have to really find a way to combat that by providing that good experience and providing those services that they want and need, so that you can move forward. Well, I hope you found that information helpful. If you liked this video, you know what to do. If you hated the video, you also know what to do. You can like, comment, subscribe. I do answer all the comments myself. I do not have somebody to come out externally and do that, so it's me you're talking to, and I hope to see you guys the next time. Take care.